Hey everybody, this is Dean and welcome to Photo Blue. Today I'm going to show you how to do a proof sheet using NX Studio by Nikon. First off, I've got one photo selected here. I'm going to go up to File and I'm going to go to Print. There are two ways we can make a proof sheet using NX Studio. The first one, we're going to go down here to where it says the print type and go to standard photo sizes. Right now it's set on 5 by 7, but if we click here and select 1 inch by 1.5 inch, we get a proof sheet format. There's actually a better way to do that though. So let's set that back to 5 by 7 and let's go back up here to print type and go to index print. Index print is really what you're supposed to use for proof sheets in NX Studio. And this is very similar to the way it's done in Photoshop. We have layout here, which is columns and rows, which I have set to 5 by 6. So we can change that to anything, but 5 by 6 works pretty well for the proof sheet. But if you want them a little bit larger, you can use whatever row and columns that you want. So for instance, if we just do 4 columns or 3 columns, you can see they get bigger. So you have an easy way to adjust the size of the photos on the proof sheet if you want slightly larger ones or slightly smaller ones. I'm going to go with the 5 by 6 because that's about what a standard proof sheet would be. You also can adjust the margins, so if you want thicker margins or narrower margins around the edge, you can do that as well. And then if we come down here, there are a bunch of different settings you can do on this, but one of the most important ones probably is print information right here. If we click this, it will put print information underneath the photograph. So we can go to settings here and select what metadata that we want. I've limited it, and you have to experiment with this a little bit because it doesn't really adjust well. You can put it on auto adjust right over here for size, but it makes the text very, very small. So down here, I set the size to 8 points. Up here, I selected the file name, the date and time, and I selected simple camera settings, and I just selected shutter speed, aperture, and lens. And that fits in this particular format that I have here. But like I said, you may have to experiment with that. So now, the problem we have right now is there's only one photograph right here. And the reason I selected only one is to show you this, because this will commonly happen. You'll go in here and you may only have one photograph selected. So let's close out of here. And I'm going to go and I'm going to select a bunch of photographs from here. So let's just hit Shift. And so you can select whatever and however many photographs that you want on the proof sheet. So I'm going to just select some here for demonstration purposes. We're going to go back to print. And you see it fills up the page, and it has more than one page of photographs, depending on how many you selected. And we can actually go through to see how many, and it doesn't fill up the second sheet in this case. All right, so now that we've got our proof sheet, the format that we want, we can go up here and it says printer. So we could print this out to the printer, but we may want it in a PDF. So what we can do is we can go to settings right here, and we can change the printer to Microsoft Print to PDF. And if we click OK here, when we print, we can select a file name and save the file, and it will print it to a PDF, and it will look like this basically. And so we've got the name of our file here, when it was taken, and all of the exposure information that we specify. We can also print this without the information underneath each photograph if we want to. And all we have to do that is when we go up to print, just make sure this print information is not selected. And the preview window shows you pretty much what it will look like in the PDF or the print that you make of it. Those are the major settings in here. You can mess around with some of these other settings. You can actually specify a color profile and a few other things in here, but I showed you the major settings here. You can even change the color of the background if you want it to be a gray or a dark gray or a black. So it could look like any of these things right here. If you do a PDF, you might want a black background, so you can use that as well. White is default. Those are the settings, and that's how you create a proof sheet using NX Studio. The other thing is there's a file output here as well, so you can actually output the proof sheet as a JPEG. The problem with outputting it as a JPEG is you have to be careful, because if the text underneath, which is the print information, is too small, it will come out blurry at the bottom. So you have to either do it without the print information or make sure the print information is big enough so that it comes out clear enough on the JPEG. I'm Dean, and this has been Photo Blue, and I'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like.